Hello, you're listening to E-Bible Fellowship's new open form excerpts, and now we present the following excerpt.
Welcome to our program. Please go ahead with your call.
Hi, Chris. 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 2 and 3, and then I have a comment.
Okay, 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 and 3. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Yes, and verse 3, sudden destruction should have been unseen destruction because it was never meant for the natural eye to see. It was only meant for the elect to see spiritually through the pages of the Bible.
Well, yeah, this word, Greek word translated sudden, is, I think it's only found one other place in Luke 21. So I'll go over there. Luke 21, and in now Luke 21 is a parallel chapter to Matthew 24. So it's dealing with the same question of Christ coming in the end of the world. And it says in verse 34 of Luke 21, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. It's the word unawares. The same Greek word is translated unawares here, that was translated as sudden destruction, or just the word sudden, followed by the word destruction in 1 Thessalonians 5:3. And yeah, it's only found 2 times in the New Testament. I believe if you look at the word itself, that it literally would read not seen, not seen. There's this word that the translators translated unaware in the setting of Judgment Day. So that day come upon you unawares, or not seen. And that's the idea of 1 Thessalonians 5:3, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Now, we have the right to take the word found in the other verse, because it's the same word, translated differently in English, but same Greek word, and put it here. And so it would say, then unawares destruction cometh upon them. And literally, again, when you look at the word itself, not seen destruction. A destruction that is not visible. It is really what it's saying, you know, because we can see physical things, material things. What we cannot see are spiritual things. You cannot see God because God is a spirit. We cannot see the kingdom of heaven because it's a spiritual kingdom. We cannot see our own soul because our soul is spirit. Spiritual things are invisible things. Invisible things are things not seen. And whereas God is saying here concerning Judgment Day, and also in Luke 21 concerning Judgment Day, so we know this word has everything to do with our time period, that there will come a destruction of the unsaved of the world that is not seen by them. It is something they do not see that would qualify as a spiritual destruction or a spiritual judgment. Now, if we go back to Luke 21, it's why I wanted to read that next verse. So that day come upon you unawares, ends verse 34. Then in verse 35, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. that his judgment day will come as a snare upon the inhabitants of the earth. And what's characteristic of a snare? A snare is something that is a trap. Animals are caught in snares. Why is an animal caught in a snare? They don't see it. The animal did not see the trap. He didn't see the snare. And so now he's caught, or other various ways that hunters will hide their particular trap, different kinds depending on the animal, and they try to make it invisible as possible. And they have much better success at catching the animal. Well, God set a trap. God set a trap for the inhabitants of the earth on May 21, 2011, and it was an excellent trap, an excellent snare for the people of the world. It was so good of a trap that when the day came, and God actually had his people proclaim the very day, so we would think everyone will be aware of it. And well, most in the world were aware of it. They heard the message, May 21, 2011, Judgment Day. And many were watching the clock. And when that day came, well, apparently nothing happened. Nothing happened. And the people of the world celebrated and joined in that celebration were the ungodly masses that call themselves Christians in the churches and congregations, joining hands with the world, really showing, unfortunately, their true colors. Can you imagine a true child of God rejoicing over the fact that the promises of God that, the Bible speaks of new heaven and new earth and so forth, were not to come, and yet God did the thing. God fulfilled the thing that he had said he would do, which was bring judgment upon the world. And he did by shutting the door of heaven. And since that time till now, the Lord has been pouring out spiritual wrath upon the people of the nations, and he's been troubling all the nations and their inhabitants because it's Judgment Day. The world has become the target, the object of the wrath of God.
Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for more new open forum excerpts that will be added periodically.